Hey Key Clubbers! My name is Tran Hoang and I am the 2015-16 Pacific Northwest District Secretary. First off, I would like to apologize for not being able to make it to your rally today. I am currently taking a class in Europe and the time differences make it really impossible for me to just even Skype in. However, I did create this training video in replacement of my absence. Hopefully this will be as effective as if I was just there. So without further ado, welcome to the Secretary's training and let's get started. So taking a look at our agenda today, I'll be going over some roles and responsibilities as a club secretary. That includes taking attendance, managing hour logs, and of course, completing and filing a monthly secretary report. I will also be giving you guys some tips to do your job well, so that's organizing your files, communicating with your club, and maintaining professionalism during your term. I'll be also touching base on club district connections, so a personal goal that I had in mind coming into the term as district secretary, and that includes the files that I've made for you guys so far, district board meeting minutes and resources for you guys. And I'll also be answering some frequently asked questions that I've gotten throughout my term. So your duties as a club secretary, I would say that you are basically the computer, the binder, the file folder of your club, meaning that you are keeping track of all these files and making sure that all of them are updated so that your club can run smoothly. So taking the attendance, you are required to take attendance at all times, meaning that service projects, exec board meetings, or even general meetings, you are knowing who's there and who's not. While you're taking this attendance, please be sure to stay involved. As in, don't be the random officer in the corner with a sign-in sheet waiting for the members to come, really be proactive and be interactive with taking this attendance. Perhaps even telling your president to give reminders before and after the meeting to sign in, and things like that to really emphasize that attendance is mandatory and crucial, because I know for some clubs they require members to attend a certain percentage of meetings to be an actual Key Club member. So really stress that attendance is crucial and mandatory, and you should sign in. While you're taking attendance, of course, always keep a record, whether it is on Google Drive or whether it is by hand. This will help you a lot to keep track of who's there and who's not. And I understand, things happen and maybe you're not even there yourself. So if you're not there, always have a backup, meaning have another officer there for you, ready to take the attendance and ready to relay the information back to you. Another responsibility as a club secretary would be managing the hours. You are in charge of keeping track of all your members' hours and the events that they attend, such as service projects, DCMs, fundraisers. It's all you. For this one, I probably suggest keeping an electronic copy. Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel will probably do just the job. Unless you can find a way to do it traditionally, then always, of course, be my guest. When you are keeping the hour logs and inputting the data, probably find some kind of method that can be easily navigable when you do read it, such as categorize your tabs by class, or do it first and last name, alphabetical order, any method that you find that would be efficient for you. Make sure that all your officers can access this hour log as well. I know that some members usually are constantly curious about how many hours they have so far, and it's nice for any officer to just easily pull up the file and give them the appropriate response that they need. And the last but never the least responsibility of a club secretary would be to fill out a monthly report. So for those who have filled out reports and sent them to me before, this is just another reiteration of information that you probably already know. However, for those who have not seen a report or this term is rather foreign, please pay close attention. So these reports are due at the 5th of every month, and if you need a copy, you can easily find it on the Secretary's Facebook group page, as well as contacting your Lieutenant Governor or myself, because we both have a copy. Make sure to send these reports to your Lieutenant Governor, your adults, as in your Kiwanis and faculty advisor, P&W club reports, with an S, at gmail.com, and of course myself. And when you fill out these reports, please put some thought into it, as in fill out everything, even if you have to say not applicable or write a 0. It's really better than leaving it blank. And at the end of the report, there is an additional comments section. So this is basically for you to really say what is going on in your club. Basically say the things that the numbers and data cannot really express in the report. In the report. And, you know, whether it is raising $1,000 for the Eliminate or having officer difficulties, this is a place for your lieutenant governor to be informed of, and for myself to be informed of what's going on as well. I do read every single report and provide feedback or help if needed, so feel free to ask me any questions in this as well, because I'll happily answer and help you out. As for the format of this report, I both have the Word and PDF versions of the Secretary report, so they are available on the Facebook group page. If, however, you only have the PDF version, you can always convert it. PDF Escape, Tiny PDF, and other conversion sites usually do the trick, but again, I have both versions, so feel free to contact me if you need either version. I definitely have to say, at times, a job as a secretary can be rather stressful, mainly because you have a lot of information and data to deal with at the same time. So I decided to gather up a couple of tips that might be able to help you during your term to make this job as stress-free and effortless as possible. The first tip is to stay organized, and I cannot stress to you how important this is. Organization is key to your term, and it is a skill that you will either develop or enhance during your role as a secretary. Since you have a lot of the files, I highly suggest you store it. And you can either store it traditionally, that's a binder with tabs, or electronically, that's with a Google Drive folder. In this folder of yours, or binder of yours, some things to probably keep would be all your club's papers, as in bylaws, reports, and roster dues, and all the necessities that your club will have to look or refer back to later on. And make sure that you're up to date with these papers. You know, don't have a club roster from the MUC that's 5 months old. Make sure that you're actively updating this binder or folder of yours. The second tip is to communicate frequently, and the more you do so, the more updated and more in the loop your club would be. With that said, be very proactive. Feel free to always lend a helping hand. Feel free to take initiative. Help out the club as much as possible. Sometimes you're also working with adults, an example, Quanians or volunteer coordinators, and usually that exchange of conversation happens through email. When replying to emails, be sure to be very prompt. Avoid responding more than 3 days late, because usually adults like to see that you are very diligent and very responsive with your work, and 3 days is a good enough time to get results finalized or anything confirmed. Also, be very proactive with reminders, whether that is reminders about service projects or events in your club. It's nice to remind the members at least 1 week before and 1 day before the event. People tend to forget pretty easily, so it's nice to do both, or whatever method that you find easy and beneficial for your club. On the topic of that, feel free to take advantage of those outlets such as Facebook to get opinions from your members. Perhaps they would like to see some different types of service projects being offered in your club. It's nice to really network with them and ask them to ask for their advice or ask for what they would like to see in the club. I mean, after all, they are what makes up your club, and their participation and voice is also important, along with you and your officers as well. And the last tip is to maintain professionalism. This goes for sending out those reports and sending out other important emails throughout your term. Know that you are not sending this to just high school students. Adults are reading this as well. So make sure to proofread everything before you send it out. Things such as minutes and records do not have to be in full sentences. However, they should be detailed enough so when you refer back to it, you know what you're talking about. A tip or method that I personally do would be to type everything that happens during that meeting and then go back and just cut out the things that are a little bit excessive and keep the main gist still intact. And again, you are representing your club when you send out these files, so please show that you are very serious about your work and represent it well. You know, grammar, conventions, capitalizations, make sure that that's all on par before you send out an important email. Of course, at the same time, as you are being professional and maintaining that good image, don't forget to also show your personality, as in be creative and express yourself, because that will create a more warmer atmosphere with you and the members than feeling as if a robot is just reiterating the same information.